Hi, this is Kylie with SSP Firearms. In my video today, I'm going to be doing another AR-15 build. This theme is black and iridescent. It's super cool. I'll be doing this video in 4 different sections like my last, so I hope you guys enjoy. So the first section of the gun you're going to want to start with is your upper receiver, which is this right here. Now, because you can see I do have long nails, I got away with attaching some of the pieces on the gun, and that was the dust cover, the barrel, and the forward assist. So typically that would be your first thing to put on is your dust cover and then your barrel. So I'm just going to move into where you would go next. So after your barrel is set and put on, the next thing you're going to want to place is your gas tube and your gas block, which is this right here. And you'll want to slide this over the top. Now you'll see on your barrel there will be a little hole that is on the top of that, and you'll want to slide your gas tube right over the top of that hole, and there'll be a hole also in your receiver that gas block is going to slide into. Once you have that set in place, there's 3 little holes in the bottom of your gas block where screws are going to go so that you can lock that gas block on there. So you have your little screws. And you want to take just a tiny bit of blue Loctite and apply that on your screws before you put those in. Then you're going to take your heat shield, and that is going to slide right over the top of your barrel. Put that on, and then you'll want to make sure the top of your rails are aligning up. And then you'll see there is screws that are going to be 2 right here, 2 on the bottom, and 2 on the other side. I'm going to screw those on. Okay, and as I grab my last screw, just want to remind you guys, when you are putting these on, just put a little blue Loctite on these as well. Get my last screw put in. Okay, now that I have that screwed on, your barrel is done and complete, and then I'm going to move back up into my upper receiver and put in my last 2 pieces. So this is a charging handle, and that is going to go in these 2 little notches right here. Okay, and then once you get that in about halfway, you will take your bolt carrier group, and with it facing this way, you will set that on top, get that in, and then you will stuff them both in until you hear it click. That is done, and you can put that to the side. The next section of your gun you can move into is your lower receiver, which is what I have here. And the first thing you want to install is your trigger, but again, because of my long nails, I got out of doing that. So the next thing you'd want to move into, though, is your safety. And that I'm going to take this right here and go through your right side of the gun. You want to place that in. Okay, and then once you have that in, you will have another little safety switch and a screw to put on the other side. Okay, and then take your little Allen key and screw that on. Okay, you then have your safety installed, you can see on both sides. And the next thing you want to move into is your grip, which we also have the iridescent themed grip. And for this, you're going to have a pin, a spring, and there's a big screw that is in your grip. So your grip is installed through this part of the gun right here. So you'll want to take your grip and start fitting that on. And you'll see there's a hole right here, and that is where the screw in the grip is going to go into. Once you get that in, you want to take your screwdriver and start to get that on to the receiver. Okay, so once you have your grip installed, you'll then want to do a safety function check, which we did one, and our safety is working good. So I'm going to move on to my trigger guard, which will be placed into the bottom of my receiver right here. So that you'll just want to lay right there and line up with those 2 holes. And for this you'll have a pin and a screw. So first you'll take your screw and going on the right side, going on the right side, you'll start to screw that screw in. Okay, and then once you put your screw through the right, you'll take your pin and place that through the left side. Once you get that in, you will take this and start to put that in. Okay, and once you have that pressed in, your trigger guard is placed in. Once you are done with that, the next thing you can go ahead and put on is your magazine catch. And that is going to go through the left side of your gun. You'll see there's a little slit right here with the hole. You're going to put that through. And then you'll take your spring, slide that over that. And your little magazine catch cover. And start to screw that over. Then you may have to push it through the other side and twist it just a little bit more to get it all the way tightened. Okay, and then you have your magazine release installed in your gun. So once that is done, the next piece you'll want to move into is your bolt release, which is what I have right here, and that is going to be placed through the top of your receiver right here. And you're going to have a pin and spring for this as well. First, you're going to want to drop in your spring. Drop your spring in. And then your pin, place that over the top. Then you'll take your bolt release, put that over. Now there is going to be a pin that you're going to have to hammer through the side right here, and you may end up scratching your receiver, so it's smart to take a little cloth if you can and place that under there. Now that I have that on there, go ahead and... Okay, and then you'll want to give it its last hit, and then once that is in, you will check and make sure it is good and is fully functioning. So from here, the last thing on your lower receiver that you're going to want to place in is your front and back takedown pins. I have already placed in my front, so the last one I'll be placing in is my back. It's going to be kind of like a 2-part thing because I also have to put in my buffer tube at the same time. So you will take your buffer tube, which is what I have right here, and you are also going to have a spring and pin that is going to go with this as well. And you'll see there's a hole in your receiver that you're going to drop your spring in first and then place your pin over the top. And once that's on, you're going to have to hold it down just a little bit and start twisting on your buffer tube. Okay, and you only want to do it till almost till you're about at the end, because there's going to be a little pin right here and spring also that you're going to have to put in for your back takedown pin, which I'm going to do right now. Okay, and then once you get your buffer tube placed in about halfway, you're going to take your back takedown pin, and with the side that has the little groove in it, you're going to place that in like this. And once that's in, you're going to take your pin, place your pin in. Okay, so I went ahead and finished screwing on my buffer tube off camera because that rear takedown pin and spring is a real pain in the ass to put on, especially if you have nails, like I said. So there will be a video that you can watch putting that on as well. But once your buffer tube and your back takedown pin are placed, the next thing you want to do is take your buffer retaining spring, which is this big spring right here, and you're going to want to slide that into your buffer tube. And push it back so that that little pin right there is holding your spring back. Okay, and once your buffer tube is on, your lower receiver is done and is ready to be attached to your upper receiver. So you'll see there's these two holes here. That's where you're going to place in your takedown pins to attach the gun. So get those lined up. Their pins, and once those are in, you'll then take your magazine and slap that in, and there you have it. You are all done with your AR, and this is definitely going to be my favorite build. I love Iridescent. As you can tell, I went with the nails to match, and so I hope you guys enjoy.